Welcome back to Easy to Spell, where the name is easy to spell. We did it wrong anyway. I'm your Dungeon Master, Andrew. Joining me, as always, are fabulous adventures, beginning with Will.
Hi, I'm Will. I play Dominique, the Tiefling Warlock.
Mike.
Hi, I'm Mike. I play Sai, the Herringon Monk.
Rachel.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and I play Angel, the badass Samir
There you go.
paladin.
There you are. Lucy.
Hi, I'm Lucy. I play Yosha, the Changeling Bard.
Anthony.
Hi, I play your half-orc, Lord Quinnington.
And I think that's everybody. So, and David.
My name's David. This is Easy to Spell, and I'm about to look down this green dragon's mouth. Okay, anyway.
How long it's been? All right. We're out into Black Dragon. If that was
That was definitely green.
Welcome back, everyone. What was that?
I just
It's okay. Just go. Keep going.
Well, welcome back, everybody. This is the kind of nonsense that I think none of us have really grown accustomed to yet, but we all still love. I don't know if we've got any announcements or anything. We should really talk about this before stream instead of just sticking around for however long. Do we have anything that we want to bring up? I think other than we're off the next 2 weeks.
Potentially
We've got just enough people out that we'll be taking some time off. I think that's it, though.
Unless we're going to announce Gil's class, race and class. Because David still hasn't said it in like the last 3 times we've been doing this.
I think he's been you're drawing too much attention to the distraction rather than just the...
Yes, the distraction.
You forgot that that's what we were doing, huh? We are coming to the party who currently stands in the entrance to the Empyrean, a brothel located on Mesos, one of the second richest tier in the city of Avarice, the last city on the world. Presided over by Krest, the one remaining god that did not fall during the battle between mortals and their deities when they sought to overthrow them and take power for themselves. We've recently come to learn that the Church of Krest operates almost entirely without his own input. Because we know that Krest, the god, is in fact some iteration of their companion Averin, who's contacted them and said, letting them know just before a raid that took Domin and Angel's clan from them, that he lacked the power to stop them, that the duties that chain him in place prevent him from leaving, and those that work in his name operate without his oversight or permission before he was cut off. Pushing Barb, Domin's sister, into the Cauldron of Rebirth and leaving her with a note, the party moved as quickly back to Avarice as they could, teleporting to the wrong brothel, almost as far from their target destination as they could while still remaining on the same plane of existence. The party has worked their way up from Asthenos through Terrace and into Mesos, 800 feet above the surface of our planet, and exploring ways to reach Exos, the highest tier where the church itself resides. You did find a way, but after sending some unfortunate partygoers to their doom, and triggering some alarms around the city, you've now made your way to meet back up with Yoshida and Brigetta, who's the madam of the Empyrean Emporium. She stands there, long stiletto nails pressed to the throat of Yoshida. You warned that they might be trouble, but not quite so soon. And she just turns your chin to face her. You have 10 seconds to explain before I throw you out in the street and claim the several million bounty gold on all of your heads.
Oh. No, it's not them. It could. Oh.
This is just happenstance? Is it, child?
I don't want to lie to you.
I strongly recommend that you do not.
They're probably just investigating ways to our destination, because we're trying to get back our friends' kiddos. You'll like them. They're you
Look,
like them.
2 partygoers got the guards on edge, and they set off the alarm.
I will give this to Yoshida. You can make a deception check with advantage, because A, you're not 100% sure that it was them. You're pretty sure it was them, but with advantage from Sai helping.
$26.
Brigetta. Fine. Just so you know,
Mm-hmm,
I don't fully believe you.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
But fuck the High Pontiff. Come inside, all of you. The guards will be here soon. The girls, and she gestures over to one of the silken curtains, where there's a few working individuals, not just girls. She said the girls, but there's a mix. The Imperial Emporium offers, caters to all. But they kind of start working their way into the room, and she gestures you further back. They'll distract and move things along. I pay a fine price to prevent people from poking their noses too far in. Come into the back. Tell me the truth as to what's going on.
Okay, everybody, come on in and behave. Lord Quinnington,
I did not say you have to behave yourselves. Just if you misbehave, know that everything here has its price.
Oh, right. Okay, should
Feel
talk
free
to
to
myself.
peruse the.
Okay.
And she gestures past another one of these kind of sweeping satin curtains, kind of pushing it out of the way, and leads you. Yes.
Just keep on. Leads us.
She leads you farther and farther into the Emporium, and it's not a cramped space. The hallway is quite large, but it does feel somewhat closed in, because every surface is covered with these deep red curtains, silks and satins. There's magical candlelight behind each that's kind of encased in these glass globes so that it doesn't set anything aflame. There's, as you pass alcoves and doorways, everything just seems to be somewhat magically muffled, but soft whispering voices, just the hints at words and conversation behind these sheets, the shadows cast on the back of them from these alcoves, always at kind of the corner of your vision. If you turn and look directly at them, they become these amorphous blobs that you can't make details out. But the shadows that you catch at the corners, these are people in various compromising positions with each other. Soft music kind of emanates without a source, direction, these dulcet tones echoing through this muffled chamber.
As Angel starts to realize that the doing is happening, she is going to, from behind Doman, put her hands on the side of his head and say, "Eyes forward."
Oh,
Well, look at you, ground.
I just pat him on the back and say, yeah, she has your nuts. I'm sorry, my friend.
If she had yours, she wouldn't be apologizing to me.
Quiet, you three.
Brigetta leads you down this hallway, and it seems to progress longer than you expect. The outside of this building seemed like it would be much smaller, but it's bigger on the inside. A couple branching hallways down, just off to your left and right as you go. But she leads you to a large room that, as she pulls the curtain aside, it's blue and silver banded. There's a large like a water feature, like a small lightly bubbling fountain. The entire outside is just covered in pillows. She walks to the far side and she rests just in this large blue and silver velvet cushion that she just sinks into. She crosses her feet and she just gestures to the room around her. Yoshida has told me some of the things you're trying to do. Do you have an actual plan? Are you milling about like wee babes? What is your goal? In honesty, I believe you enough to let you in and provide sanctuary. But I protect my own first. And for now, Yoshida, you are one. You are my own. But this is not the first time I'd be risking my neck for you. Honesty.
How much has Yoshida told you?
She's told me that you seek your own children. That not for the first time they have been taken from you. An act that I would not see unanswered as long as I can assist. Other than that, Yoshida, what might you have filled her in on? I made that assumption because you've already commented on it. But
I mean, I probably might have mentioned my chicken because I didn't have my chicken, Lady Featherweight. That there was some bloodshed at the campsite. I mean, it mentioned that my friends are in not the best mood. I was probably trying to be like really positive, put a positive spin on it so that she would not think I'm a crippling failure.
okay. I know some of the reasons you were driven from the wastes back into the city. It is unfortunate that the same force that drove you from this place is driving you now back in. And I know you seek away the Exos.
Should I introduce my friends?
I know their names and faces already from all of the signs in the city.
Right.
If there's any additional information any of you would like to offer
Well,
as to who I've invited into my home.
these two are the grieving parents. This is Doman and Angel. This guy, he's from the future. We don't ask. Well, I mean, we ask a lot of questions. Not many answers. This is Sai, and Lord Quinnington. Angel, do you want to, Doman? Do you want to tell her why we're working so hard to do this?
Your reasons, I understand enough.
Okay.
Children, family.
Okay.
What are you seeking to do?
Get
And
to Exos, get our children.
what assistance do you need?
We need to get up to Exos. Staying here is first plan, but after that, we are working on a plan to get up the elevator.
I think then the grand scheme of things, well, at least me personally, I'm looking for a way to not be jerked around by the aforementioned power that be. In one way or another.
But
How-
we all seek to get out from under at one point or another.
Yes. Also, never mind.
Move a heretic from their position, if you may.
Something I have seen before, firsthand, and she passes a meaningful look at Yoshida. In this city, heresy is quite the charge.
I'm
Are you
down with the bigger
speaking
one. Yes.
of the High Pontiff, Valerius Stonebreaker?
And anyone else carrying out his duties.
I can offer you a few pieces of information. And, depending on your skills, perhaps a few ways forward. Dawnbreaker, according to my sources, has not left the church personally in months. His temple. The Cardinal Serafina Whisperwind is the only known direct contact he is to have. She visits him, and she brings out the words of him and supposedly that of Krest, who only has spoken to him in years, directly. As far as ways up to Exos, trying to assault the elevator is deceptively easy. Some have tried. They only ever keep 2 guards there for a reason. Because supposedly, legions of the AV protector units await at the surface.
Legion.
Whether this is true or not is unknown. My contacts, those that have traveled from here to there and back, have seen no such thing. But we know that they exist in great number, based alone on the policing force here. They watch the streets. You could try to deceive them and pass up. If you forged invitations, it's possible, but more difficult. The last option I would have.
I don't like forged tickets, so it didn't go well last time.
It is a risk, as I said. You'd have to have quite the silver tongue to pass that deception. Sorry, I'm just gonna go do this real quick because that was a needlessly bumpy tune. There is one person who I have contact with. He hires a number of my employees once a month for a party that he hosts. A masquerade.
The last masquerade we went to did not turn out so well, but I'd be willing to try.
Hierophant Solara Sunweaver is a man of discreet tastes. As I believe I'm implying quite heavily if he is hiring individuals from here. If you were to take the place as my employees, you would have an invite. This risks me directly. but it would get you to Exos. It would get you in to a house very close to the church itself, but you would be under very close scrutiny. This option, you would need to leave all weapons, armor, and adventuring gear. She looks over each of you. For my employees are closely gauged to prevent assassins, burglars, thieves, and the like from infiltrating. You would be there, but you would be naked and you would be alone. And if you did not perform or subvert the attention, it would risk me and mine. With only a few minutes of thought, these are the only options I can think of. There may be other ways onto the spire, but not that I'm aware of.
Present a small edit to your plan. If we were to send a few of us up under your employ, and maybe one of us up invisible, carrying everybody else's goods, kind of a pack mule, we would not only get up, but we would not be naked, but we would have to make sure not to sully your reputation.
That is
We could
possible.
You also need people to be distractions up there. So what we could do is I am going to assume that being tied up is not abnormal for your girls. Yes, no?
It's one of the most common requests.
We could tie them up in a abandoned area or something, so it looked like they had been jumped, and then that would save you. If they're used to getting tied up, they would know that they'll be safe.
It is possible. If we were sending that, it's crazy. He's just so crazy that it just might work. Sorry, that's the voice I was doing, and then started like going into that. I could not resist. It could work. I could. You would have to pay their fees, and for this kind of job, my best boys and girls would be the ones I'd want to send with you. I will help you.
So we're going naked?
1,000 gold pieces. And this is the friends rate.
So we're paying
Done.
to get naked. Oh, okay. Just 1,000 or 1,000 each?
1,000 total.
Oh,
Done.
Do any of your girls wear gloves?
A number, usually on the request.
Doman, Angel. What are the limitations of your
On
little
What?
hand
Exactly.
trick? You can pass things from each other, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
which
Is there a
What'd you have in mind?
distance?
Gear.
I've never seen one. Here, can you hold it in your hand? Then it can probably be passed.
I slide over 500 gold.
And Brigetta just palms in.
Oh,
She got a big
that's a
palm.
lot to palm. Yeah.
Make a perception check.
She got a bag of holding in a ring or something? What's going on?
And it's 10 gold per platinum, right?
Yeah,
So it'd be 100 platinum.
100 platinum. You're down to 50 platinum because Yashida already slid it. I won't even need it. That's it's pretty obvious. She literally like passes her hand over it, and it like vanishes.
Nice.
I've got the other 50 platinum.
Okay. And same thing. She just passes her hand over it, and it just kind of tickles across like your wrist, her long fingernails.
Just give her another, like, I guess 100.
No,
And the rest
no.
of us.
Done. We
Oh, we're
capped.
done. Oh.
What the-
We
that's
paid it
a-
out.
She took it though.
I mean, that's adequate. She passes it, and she's, for 100 gold, that gets you an evening
Oh.
with company. You have, if you have the same taste as your father, I believe the twins are available. Lord Quinnington.
I don't want to have my father's sloppy seconds.
Fair enough. I would not opt for companionship in this establishment. Sir
Well,
Quinnington Sr. is well known.
Oh,
Apparently.
Lydia, are you
I just-
sure about
just-
your mom?
Just keep the money. And please don't show me any girls. This is just...
For 20 gold, I'd be willing to wipe your mind in the last 30 seconds of conversation.
20 gold.
And she taps you on the forehead, and the last 30 seconds of conversation have replaced with are replaced. She like had a brief and pleasant conversation with you about the weather, and offered you a large, comfy, vacant room.
That's gonna be
Oh,
easily
very
over.
thank you. And just take it and I speak nothing more.
Okay. Wait. So we're all gonna get naked, right? And then we're gonna put masks on, right?
But are we delivered naked? I would assume that we are wearing like a robe or something that's supposed to be up there.
Robes and a mask.
Okay. So okay. Do we get to pick the mask, or are you gonna hand them? Are they in nondescript?
That's,
they fun
that's
at
the
least?
question. Not what are we going to have to do when we get up there? Or
Well, I was gonna let you guys ask that because I was depending on my shape. I might change it.
We have simple masks. By request, they are black masks that have cracked lines filled with gold.
Now I'm wondering what Doman asked. What are we gonna do when we're up there? Is it just anything? Is it do you get tapped on the shoulder? Oops. Do you have to be
My
creative?
assumption was that with my employees being tied up down here, you would not necessarily make it to the party. If you wish to go to the party and fulfill the services required, it's generally. Are you familiar with a buffet?
Yep.
You would be the buffet.
Oh, so like the food would be on top of us? No.
Sure, you're still
Okay.
sweet thing. It would not just be you. In addition to the 6 that will be tying up and sending you as replacements who infiltrated. 5 if one of you is going invisibly. Send another 11 or 12 workers with you.
Could
That will delay them finding out that we have.
can
we have come
Doman
up.
still teleport to Rachel?
No,
So-
I can't. I don't know anybody named Rachel. I can teleport to Ange, but that's the only place I can
Ange,
go.
sorry. You can teleport to Ange though.
Yep.
So we could load you up with all of our stuff and then go, and you could just bring it all with you?
Yeah. I could also
and be
accompany.
invisible while he does it too.
I could do that as well. I could also accompany looking like somebody else if you wanted me on board as well. But
I like
I
the
can also-
accompanying invisible.
okay,
I also have an extra dimensional space that I could put, stuff in.
What?
That seems easier. Harder to find it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go make arrangements on our end.
Oh, thank you, Brigetta. I owe you one or several. Actually, I did pay you, but I do owe you
If
one.
you can change the way things function in the city, we are even for everything. I'll send in drinks. And she stands and leaves. You guys have the room to yourselves for a little while. As she leaves, she gestures and she goes, "Oh yes, rooms." And as she gestures, some of the curtains like flutter gently, and alcoves that were not there before open. And you can, if you like look behind them, there are 4 full-size bedrooms. Or let's say 1, 2, 3. There are 6 full bedrooms because of the shape of the room, and symmetry is a thing. Even if 2 of you don't, even if people are sharing or whatnot. But you have a suite available for each of rooms. You have the night to plan, discuss, make anything you want to try to do prior to this, which will be another day off of the timer.
I would like to find Brigetta at some point and just ask if my mask is feasible to be accepted as one of those black gold-laden masks.
She looks at it and she takes it. If we do this, and she gestures kind of over it, and gold lines like grow over the front, looking like cracks. She goes, "That will only last until I need to do something like that again. But for now, it should suffice."
Thank you.
Of course.
And I'll give her 10 platinum.
More? Why? Sorry,
She
I'm not there.
takes it and she raises her eye at you, but does not argue.
Away or ask.
I'll just thank you and I'll walk away.
She nods. And for all the hallways that you had walked through on your way to get back to that room when she was leading you through the hallways, you realize when you walked out, it was only a few feet and you were in that front room where she was waiting. She spoke to you for a moment and you turned back and it was a short walk again.
Ooh.
The Emporium is as big as she needs it to be for whatever statement needs to be made.
She's an intimidating lady. I've never quite gotten used to her.
How did you get tied up with her?
Oh, Balder's a deviant. I've had to come pick him up every once in a while. She took pity on me. Yep.
That was
Well, at least it wasn't your father, right?
I know. Wouldn't that be really embarrassing?
Sir Quentin just like blank faced. Shut up! Shut up!
What are we talking about? I don't
Nope.
remember any.
Nothing at all.
Wait, are we staying here for the night? Are we getting a full night's rest?
You have it if you need to. You will be safe here
Okay.
if you would like to take a full rest.
We take
Probably
a
the best
full
idea,
rest.
really.
I will have teleport back.
Perfect.
Okay. But I haven't been there, so. Or where. I don't know.
we might need
Anyways.
We might need it to get out.
We have been here, so.
Okay, that's good. Good. Aha.
As long as it's not that other. Well, even
Doesn't
if
even
it
matter
is
at that
that
point.
other one, yes.
So, did we have a plan ironed out then? Does
Okay,
everybody know what we're doing?
I'm
So-
not
so we're-
sure. Let's break it down.
This-
My father's
So-
never gonna forgive me for doing this.
Probably best not touch that one. So we're going up as Brigetta's crew. We're not going to the party, and we're going immediately to the church instead. Well, I guess we're gonna put everything in Gil's. I don't like calling it an extra dimensional space.
His
We're
pocket.
not putting it in Gil's space,
my
but
bad.
Gil's gonna hold it. Yeah, wherever that ends up.
If I can
And-
suggest that we make sure we're not putting any other pocket things in there.
Oh, yes.
That didn't go
Do we-
well last time.
Oh, yes. Do we know what Serafina Windswift looks like? Yoshida, do you know what she looks like?
Whisper
By any
Wind.
chance? Whisper Wind.
I will allow Lord Quinnington and Lady Pepperdine to make history or history checks. This would be history.
I got a 13.
My thing had to reload. I'm so sorry. 16.
Each of you have an idea. You've
Okay.
seen her in the distance. She is, again, kind of the public face of Valerius Dawnbreaker. Seraphina Whisperwind is a tall, pale-skinned elf. Like 7 feet tall. And she's always wearing black and gold robes. This is like when Sam Riegel like takes off his shirt and
It's
it's
true.
Matt Mercer's face underneath. Like I just look over and see David doing something.
I
And
completely
it just
blanked.
it stops my brain in its tracks. I just petered off while watching you slowly eat your own face with a dragon. But
Black and gold robes.
black and gold
7 feet
robes.
tall.
And
Does she happen to have a large floppy hat?
She does
that
not have a
covers her
large
face?
floppy
Okay,
hat
I'm
that
just
covers her
checking.
face. She wears
Or
it's
is
like a
Needle Fancy
crown
this?
of golden leaves that kind of pokes up and around a little bit.
Yoshida, how good are your disguising skills?
I mean, if we're naked, they're great.
Well, do you think you could look like this 7-foot elven woman?
I can try, and I try to do so.
Oh,
Lord Quintington, do you think does this look pretty accurate?
It's been a while
Yeah.
since I've seen it.
Yoshida,
Let's
Yes.
as long as it's still like a medium creature, you just can't change your size category, correct?
I believe so. I think. You can. I can change my size between medium and small.
Okay.
So, but no.
And so you don't need to go up to a large. This is still medium. But Yoshida grows taller. I believe taller than even Doman, yeah?
Yeah, by a couple inches. By like
Couple inches,
what,
yeah.
5 inches.
Yoshida, your clothes, you're dressed normally, so it becomes like a belly shirt and things begin to kind of get tight, but a tall, beautiful, lean, pallid woman is standing in front of each of you. She has a very sharp features. Like everything about her is very not thin, but angled. It's harsh lines. She's kind of pronounced clavicle. Her jawline just cuts down to a very pointed chin. Her nose has that sharp ridge a slight upturn, almost not beakish as in large, but she is hard lines and edges.
I feel
Stands-
cold. Just generally cold. Like a cold person.
We need to see if Brigetta recognizes you.
Okay.
Don't-
I'm gonna cast sending to Brigida. Hey. Can you come here for a second? I need to make sure I look like Seraphina Whisperwind.
Oh, damn it, you shouldn't have told her who, but it's fine.
Please. Am I already there?
Okay, you're good.
Of course, I'll be in just a moment. Allow me to finish conversing with these guards, please.
Twiddle our thumbs.
Some time goes by.
I start piecing out my stuff to put in Gil's pocket.
My prison pocket.
And then
Yeah.
we could get these robes and things from our objects bag, right? Sir Quintington?
Sure.
Can you try and pull out a giant black robe and with gold leaf crown and things?
I will try to pull out a black robe for a 7-foot person out of my robe. My backpack.
Pulls right out. Yep, just you have to.
Okay. And I just give it her, and then I'm like, oh, and a hat. Pop a hat out. and
Yeah,
hand her
a big floppy like witch's hat pulls out.
Nope.
Nope.
You
Not
want to
that-
put that one back? No, let's
Oh,
put gold
okay.
gold leaves in the crown. Crown. See a cat butt.
Put the hat back. Does the hat now get a patch on the side of it now that I've pulled it out?
No, that's if it's something created by the backpack that goes back in. It does not get a patch.
Okay.
But no, that's going and like thinking of the correct crown with the leaves. You pull it out, and it. You have the completed costume. After a little bit, Brigetta comes back, and she says, "That is a very convincing disguise, Yashta. I am glad that you warned me, considering I just had a very long conversation with guards, inquiring if I had seen a group of 5 or 6 individuals seeking shelter due to the alarms. I believe I set them on a false trail. We shall see."
Do we know anybody else that's that high up in the hierarchy that may be helpful to be imitating? Only one I can remember is Malachi Blackwood, but he was
There
much
was
lower
also-
tier mercenaries.
There was also that elf that went up on the elevator. We know what he looks like. I don't know who he is, but
He was also pretty short.
it's true.
The individuals that you are aware of would be High Pontiff Valerius Dawnbreaker, Seraphina Whisperwind, and Solara Sunweaver, who you learned about the Sunweavers previously. They're a Harengon family.
Allegedly.
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 Wait, what would they else would they be?
I just asked, and there was a really bad roll, and so I'm not sure if it's true or not.
I think that was information in a natural one from Lord Goodington.
What? I didn't get a natural one. I got a 13.
This is from last week when you were asking about the The Sunweavers?
Oh, yeah.
And I had rolled a
you gotta-
natural one on my insight.
Yeah, because it was
So-
because it was a lot of information from a very low roll about a very specific Harengon family when you were trying to think if there were any Harengons that lived up on.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, the well-to-do Sunweaver family, who also are hosting the party.
That is interesting. A sex party?
Any-
A
There's
bunny
no
sex
meaning to
party?
the term.
I
Talks
mean-
like bunnies.
It's a Harengon. Solara is the patriarch of the family, and he apparently has indiscreet tastes.
Solar, is his nickname Hugh?
Stop.
I see what you're doing there.
I get this. I see what you're doing. Solara just has discreet tastes.
Just discreet.
Sort of
And their
discreet. The
emblem.
kind of discreet where you still invite all of your buddies over for orgies once a month. But I mean,
yeah.
Each their own, man.
huh.
Yeah, everybody's gonna get their own. That's, I think.
Probably some of somebody else's too.
Oh.
Is there anything we need to plan apart from what we already have?
No, I think we get up to the level instead of making it to the house. We go to the church. We get in based on Yoshta's faking the Serafina lady, and then we find our children and stop this from happening.
Okay. So should I not be Serafina when we're going up there
Probably not.
No.
I go
don't
back
think
to
she would
myself.
There you are.
with clothes on?
So here is what we're going to do.
Oh God.
You guys all can take a long rest.
Yes.
This night, you are planning your heist. You have the foundation. I need.
Everybody gets 11 temporary hit points when they long rest near me.
Oh.
Very nice.
If we're going to be
We're
skipping
going
to
to-
morning, I do have one conversation I wanted to have before that. But if it's not
Okay, we'll-
quite skipping, then we can go ahead.
Yeah, we're not going to skip to morning. What we are going to do for that, like this, I'm going to call it a heist itself, is we're going to kind of fast forward. We're instead of trying to role play every step of talking to every guard and every person, we're going to do a series of skill checks. So we'll kind of jump through. The skill checks are going to help at different points because, again, they'll let us move a little bit more quickly. While you guys are working your way to the church, if at some point you have an idea as to something that would help, you can go into a brief flashback where you say, like, when this is very Ocean's 11, when they're like, and when the guard comes out of the elevator, you'll be ready. You can, each one of you get one. You can trigger a flashback moment, and you yourself, like, you can't be like, all right, I've used my flashback. What are we going to do here, guys? This is where you go, we planned for this, and you get to initiate a skill check. This you can be used if something goes wrong, if you want to make a certain thing happen at any given point. But
Yeah, I like that.
if you go, I would like to flashback to where we. You can pitch an idea and make a skill check at that point.
Okay, I like
Okay.
this.
All right.
But we'll skip a lot of the like walking to point, like from point A to point B, from B to C. We'll just kind of hit some of the tension points, and we'll role play in
Fun
those
parts.
moments. But yeah,
Dope.
you guys start your long rest now. Sigh. Well, what do you
Yeah,
wanna do?
I wanted to find Gil when he's alone and have a conversation with him.
You find, as you go from like your room to Gil's room, there is like this pressure barrier that does not dissipate until Gil like invites you into his room. He says, "It is okay for you to come in." Magically enforced consent.
Got it. Hey, Gil, can we talk for a sec?
Sure.
I'll walk in. Look, I know you've been watching me.
No.
Come on.
No.
You saw me talk to Sparrow.
Yeah. Okay. I might have been in the area.
All right, we're going to do it this way. I know you know what I am.
What do you mean by that?
Why are you watching me talk to Sparrow?
I mean, why wouldn't... It's Sparrow.
But why me specifically?
If anyone went to talk to Sparrow, I'd be watching their back. You just happen to be the one that went to talk to Sparrow.
I don't know, man. It just... Tell me to watch out for this mask and make sure that the decisions are right. You have been keeping your eye on me anywhere we go. I've noticed, man.
I mean, I'm not going to say there's certain things that happen that I would like to change.
Gil, make a perception check.
15. I think I have +8. Yeah, 23.
23. Those shadows that just always seem to be dancing, shapes and figures on the edge of the wall that you can only catch out of the side of your eye. You see one, and it's to the side. It seems to be the shadow Sai is casting on the wall. Great black wings have begun to spread across the room. From his shadow's back. But as you look, they again fade into this amorphous blob. You know it wasn't a trick of the light, though. You know what happens. You know what you just saw.
And so far, I haven't done anything to change it. The path you're going down... It doesn't end well.
But we have an opportunity to change it.
You know, before I got here, I thought it was going to be easy to change all of this. No problem. Flip a couple switches, talk to a couple people. It turns out the fabric that's used is not real pliable. It's real hard to get a thread. Unravel it just a little bit. Look, I can't give you a for sure answer on what you're looking for. But what I can say is kind of weird because I'm lecturing my grandfather here. If you don't change your attitude, it's not going to end well.
It's not. Some things we're destined for.
No. Do you want to know about destiny? If you want to play into that, we're just about to go in this big fucking circle again and again and again and do the same things all over. oh, it's destiny, it's fate. No. It's particular people, individuals, gods that are pulling the strings, making us dance like puppets, doing exactly what they want us to do. If you've seen how the future unfolds, you'd want to break it too.
David.
Especially you.
Gil, I need you to roll a D100 for me.
Oh.
You just got crit on.
Yep. That's about that.
You just broke the laws of the space-time continuum.
Yeah. Well, not great. 29. I mean, I
Okay.
don't know if it's great or not.
There's a moment you said a couple things more than you should. Things that wouldn't be a subtle push on a direction on the continuum. Your eye, everything magic that's on your body just kind of begins to shake in resonance with you. Sai, you watch Gil blur for a moment.
Yeah.
Gil, you focus. You tighten your fists and steel your mind against whatever is pushing against you. And it passes. Back to normal. You're fine.
Okay.
You'll almost just get back to the future.
Look,
So that was kind of a warning. But I said what I said.
for things to change, you had to come back. Which means you need to exist. So it can't be me that changes.
And you visibly see him get frustrated and want to say something. And then he just stops.
I've got
Sai, do you have anything else to say?
I've got a big choice to make. And I have to make it by morning. And I'll stare into the mask. And
Gil's just staring at you with dagger eyes at the moment.
Dagger eye.
Dagger eye. Right. Very true, very true.
The other one's like a rock.
And I'll say, why can't I stop Doman? And then we can flashback if you want. Not for the specific thing that we've talked about, but what you and I have talked about.
You're talking me.
Yeah.
To the night you first held Shaith's Mask of Torment. Pondering it. Everybody else around you settling in to rest after the battle you just had with the Guardian of the Tomb. The world around you goes black. You look up. In the familiar form of a small owlin, not small, about your height, stands before you, spinning his pocket watch. I didn't expect us to talk so soon.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. Funny that I don't have to speak out loud to speak to you anymore.
The closer we get, the easier it is to talk. The more alike we think. After what happened to Avi, I think you're coming to understand, aren't you?
Yeah. Sacrifice is gonna have to be made.
One that I've lived through so many times. And his form, Sparrow's form, begins to blur and meld with the shadows that surround you. You have questions, I'm sure, as you have. I'm better able to answer some of them now.
Statues, they were my friends.
Aye, my family. Each of us destined for something. Some great responsibility, great power, regardless of whether we wanted it or not.
And a sacrifice has to be made for that ascension.
Not all of us are destined to become gods, Sai. But the path to divinity is paid in the blood of mortals. His image begins to blur. It's no longer a... sorry about that. It is no longer a form of an owlin. It has become kind of amorphous, but still a figure, something kind of your height.
Can someone else sacrifice for a family?
I don't know if it's possible. I've tried. We've tried, and the form manifests more solidly until it's almost like you're kind of looking at your own shadow, still blurred. I told you honestly before, Sai, all I want to do is break the wheel that crushes us with no remorse, without care. Everyone prattles on about fate and destiny and what is meant to be and not what could be. Again and again, I've lost. The reason I feel so much pain is because I'm the only one that dares hope for something different. And thus, Shaith. Pain, torment, and hopelessness. And as he throws his arms out, he solidifies until you're looking into a mirrored reflection of yourself, but aged, haunted eyes. Maybe this time it'll be different.
Doman, his family doesn't deserve that.
It's always been his choice. It's not anything I've wanted. I fight against the bit and bridle, and it's always others who pay that price.
There's got to be a way. I'm going to find a way.
My curse is that I hope you do. And you do what I have not been able to for eons. Just understand, you and I were built by hope. If we didn't have hope, there wouldn't be this pain. Because I've never been able to accept what happens to all of them every time we go around.
Maybe it's time we change.
Maybe. And the vision fades. We're gonna flash forward back to with you standing in the room with Gil, staring at the mask, him staring at you.
I'll put the mask back on my pouch or whatever and take out the pocket watch that I grabbed off the ground. Spin it around my finger. Let's change things for the better, huh?
Gil doesn't say anything at the moment. He just nods.
Are there any other conversations or interactions anybody was going to try to have tonight? You all awake in the morning, Sai, unless there's anything else you wanted to do this night?
Nope.
You're long rested. You have plans in motion. You'll have most of the day to set things up. Brigetta puts you in contact with the 18 individuals, a very broad spectrum of people, so not hard to pick out the, I think 5 that you'll be replacing. Who all very willingly go to, there's a new store being constructed a short ways away. Because of the curfew, there are no employees or workers there. And so it's pretty easy to tie up these. They're sex workers. Sex work is real work. I'm dancing around like phrases, but tie them up. A couple of them giving you guys each pointers. You all learn a couple new knots throughout this process. Until it's time to head out. Each
So,
of you.
real quick, flashback. I would have used a spell slot to put all our shit in a chest and then make it go to the ethereal plane.
Yeah, that doesn't have to be your.
I know.
For the record, I would have given him my mask to do.
Okay.
So.
People are tied up. You guys are all dressed up. Gil's got everybody's equipment in a chest. Doman, you are still intending to turn invisible for this, yeah? And not go up disguised?
I'm actually gonna pull a Yoshida, and I will disguise myself as a foot shorter, let's say half elf with short brown hair. Just one of the staff.
Okay, that's easy enough to do. Are there any preparations before you guys head out on the first leg of this?
A little bit of oil, get a little shiny.
Grease up the beefcake.
Just want to make sure that we all have
Little bronzing agent.
clothing pulled from Quennington's bag that would make sense for us to be in the Krest
I'm giving my
place
bag
with
to.
as well. So
Yeah, I'm giving my
when we
bag
get
to
up there,
Doman.
we can all change into something that's more appropriate for a servant in the Krest church.
Yeah, that's a general acolyte wear. And then, or
I'm
Sir
gonna
Quennington,
have to give my backpack to Doman because I can't. I'm gonna be in a robe. It'd be a little weird to have a robe.
I'm also in a robe. You want me to just wear the backpack, or?
Gil, you mean Gil?
Yeah,
Oh, we can
Doman's
give
not
it to
going
Gil.
invisible
I
anymore.
thought the plan was for Doman to carry all of our gear, and then
What?
he's just
I'm
gonna.
confused.
That was the original plan.
Oh.
Gil's got the interdimensional
Oh.
shenanigans.
Okay.
And I'll
Pizza
have
pocket.
to go.
By the way,
That's what all the
before you
pocket
do that,
jokes were
can I
about.
wait? Hang on. Gil, don't put that in there.
It wouldn't have gone in there. It would not have gone in there.
What,
You-
now
if
you
you-
don't want my backpack?
if you put an extra dimensional space, we go on a little space pirate adventure.
Actually,
Yeah,
it's not an
we've done
extra
that once
dimensional
already.
space. It's actually the ethereal plane, so it would have been fine.
Yeah, that actually, you're because this is secret chest, yeah.
Yep.
That
So
be
I would
fun.
have explained why I didn't want it in there to Lord Quennington, and then Gil would have been like, "Actually, it's fine because this."
I like the idea of you trying to interrupt and Gil just being like, "Huh," and then just shoving the bag into the chest.
It's just a regular chest.
Side
just like,
dives
what-
to the
what-
side.
Everybody gets down except for me. And I'm just like, what's wrong with
We're
you guys?
still-
You guys sleep
There's
on the
no
wrong side of
ducks
the
for me to
bed?
claw into. I tell Angel to the side, I'm like, Angel, it's bad time to tell Lord Quennington it was me, right?
You're muted.
You're muted, Rachel. Yeah.
Actually, now might be your last chance.
Ugh.
I say do it. Go for it.
Okay.
Do it.
While I'm all bronzed up.
Just
in my
walk
robe.
into his room. Just walk into his room looking like you did at the party.
I don't have my toucan mask.
But you can make one, right?
Right now, we're about to leave.
She's in her 7-foot form with.
Oh, I
her
know,
robe
I know.
on.
No, I'm not in that form yet. I had him pull one out earlier when I thought that the mask was it was a mask party, and I put it on, and I'm like, Lord Quennington, I forgot to deliberately mention to you that but oh god.
Sai's gonna walk by right now and just go, "Oh, you're telling him, sweet," and just keep walking.
Tell me what?
That girl at the party, that was me. Okay, well, let's not get killed today. All right. And I just kind of like scooch out of the party in my robe. Scooch, 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 like really slowly.
Sir Quennington in your giant, naked, bronzed glory.
He's never been in a more stiff situation. All right, there's my one for the campaign.
Okay.
I just don't. And I'm. Wait a minute, and I try to flag Yoshida down.
Oh, you flag me now.
All this time.
Oh, yes, yes, I have known that you were looking for me this whole time. It was just that, hard to talk about.
Hard, huh?
You're here too, Gil?
This is Gil walking
Yeah.
past.
Yep. Oh yeah, we all know.
Uh,
Except you.
Oh. Okay.
They were waiting on me. I think. Right, Angel?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Figured she was outside the room too.
Doman will lean out past her and be like, honestly, we're surprised you didn't figure it out sooner, Quennington.
Although, knowing you now, we're not surprised.
What does that mean?
That you're so sweet. You're so sweet.
I love the fact that everybody's popping in and Codington is just full nude. We've established this as canon. He is naked and greased up, and people are just walking by offering commentary. It's like, has anybody seen the show Sirens?
Mm-mm.
No.
There's a character in it who's a very hot, very dumb cop, and they walk in, and he's just house sitting for somebody just walking around naked. And it's everybody like walking in and out, and they all have a moment where they're commenting on just how naked he is. If you ever watch Sirens, this is the moment I'm envisioning.
So yeah, we can talk about it later. I just thought, we might die
Yeah. I'm
again.
fine. We'll talk about it later.
He says,
Oh God, how am I gonna? Why is it always the bombshells right before we have to go do something dangerous?
Yeah.
Brigitte
"Gives you
leans
more
over
chutzpah."
and goes, we are expected to be on our way soon, and oh my, Lord Quennington, if you ever find yourself in need of employment, please.
Brigetta, no, Brigetta.
I let the man speak for himself, yes.
Okay, fine.
Lord
I
have
think,
mercy, I'm about to burst.
I don't think I could stand to see my father go through the doors.
I mean, you don't remember that happening.
Yeah.
David, what did you just do?
What did you say?
Just Will's confusion of like, what the fuck? So you guys may not have heard it, but
Play it again.
let me
play
do
it
this.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to burst.
Oh, may he rest in peace. May he rest in peace.
Oh my gosh.
I was that or
I'm gonna come. Oh.
Oh,
I've been
So-
wanting to play those so
Great.
long since we walked into the fucking brothel. Oh my god.
That's
I
what you
get-
meant when you had no more room.
Yeah, just hand delivered, packaged up.
Pocket package.
Okay. With that, the first stage, the first leg, is the approach to the
Third
elevator.
leg. That's my only one.
Oh, I didn't even hear it.
Brigetta leads you all through the streets, and in spite of the curfew, she has a writ, the authority of which allows her and her employees passage. Make your way through several of the AV defense units at this barrier that was erected around the elevator, the spire all the way up. They reach out and they put their fingers together like this and then pull it up, and you see the barrier begin to separate and then pull it out until they're both standing with their arms directly vertical, outstretched, holding open a passage through this. You, as a group, are led to the elevator, at which point you are going to be searched. Are any of you trying to bring any equipment on your person other than the robes and mask?
I think just the glove,
The glove?
right?
So Domin and Angel each have gloves. And Gil has a small carved version of the chest in which all of your
Everything is
stuff
held
is
in it.
held. I need.
So
Oh, sorry.
here's going to be the question. I also have the spell that I can ritually cast, Wrist Pocket, which is an extra dimensional space. But
Okay.
because it's just a carving of it, if I put it in that extra dimensional space, will it blow up?
Make an Arcana check.
All right. I may have killed us all before we got here. I'm just saying.
The best laid plans.
Ooh. Oh no.
See
This is
it,
how the
Domin.
party wipes.
Okay, I have a plus 10, so not as bad.
If it's 11, I need to know.
It's 14.
14? No, because you are not storing the chest. Like, the thing that we're worrying about is not the chest. We're worrying about Fenrir's adventuring pack.
Yeah.
Which is not in the carving of the chest.
Than the ethereal plane.
It is, what are the components to Wrist Pocket?
So I can ritually cast it.
Okay, but it still requires
Um,
components. That just extends the
Just says
timeline.
somatic. Just says
Okay.
somatic.
You were good. What I was looking for was that if it required your arcane focus,
Right.
which it does not. Which I
No.
think your arcane focus is your eye anyway, so I guess we
Yep.
would have been okay.
So basically after I complete the ritual, just before we leave, I flick my wrist and a little like portal opens up and I hold the little case and goes inside.
Okay. You are all searched. And everything is fine. The gloves aren't anything that would arouse suspicion. And you're allowed on the elevator and begin going up.
Are there any guards nearby?
There's one guard who joined you on the elevator to escort you back. Brigetta was left behind.
We have
Who does
like-
she hand the writ off to? I imagine Yoshida. She hands it to you. You know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
She turns, nods to the guard, who nods back. And she leaves as you all begin to ascend. The first check I need, and this is a group check, as you hit the 100-foot mark, the same point where your owl familiar previously was dispelled. From your wrist pocket, David, you feel the small chest drop into your hand.
Okay.
The chest is just a component of the spell. Secret chest is not dispelled. Domin, your disguised self. And you go from being a shorter, I think it was half-elven person,
Yep.
to a full-sized tiefling.
Can I, as I feel it drop, try and shrink myself in the middle of the group? First off.
For this one, I'm going to need sleight of hand or stealth checks from everybody as Domin springs up in his height. And Gil, you need to make sleight of hand specifically because you're trying to just catch the chest that just appears in front of your hand.
Sleight
Not
of
bad.
hand or deception or stealth and
Sleight of hand or
stealth,
stealth.
deception, or sleight of hand. I think all three of those work here. David is the one that specifically has to make a sleight of hand check.
I got
Disregard my last
a,
check then.
I got 33 deception.
Oh, fuck.
Ooh.
I
Okay.
got a 16 stealth.
Okay.
I got a nat 20 pick because they're all the same plus.
I got a 12 deception, which is amazing.
I had a
18 sleight of hand.
22 stealth.
Okay.
Some
There's
versatility.
one failure here, so the group overwhelmingly succeeds. Domin, you feel yourself pop up, and everyone kind of turns and as the guard goes, Gil, You catch your little chest and hide it, pull your hand back into your robe, and everybody kind of circles around Doman just very quickly. And the guard, all right, behave yourselves, you lot. It's exciting, but you've been here before.
Sorry, somebody touched my butt.
There's gonna be a lot more of that today.
And
Like,
just
geez,
show
that.
my butt. Show the guard.
The elevator arrives at the top. Here's the next part. On the journey from the elevator to the Sunweaver house, are you going to try to slip away while on the road? Or wait until you get to the party?
Are we accompanied by guards the entire way?
This one guard will be stays in the elevator, and 4 of the AV defense units, all armed with pole arms, pull up. One of them holds up a holy symbol, and all of you are encompassed by an illusion spell that makes you look like a group of merchants or like artisans that may have been invited. What greets you? I should explain this because none of you, except for Lord Quinnington, have seen Exos at all before. You're in a massive open courtyard. These are not cobblestone streets. They're not even the smooth, magically created smooth plinths of stone that form the streets of Mesos. This is all hand-carved marble. Every tile is perfectly laid flush. You can barely make out the lines, and only then because they're each carefully carved with little reliefs. Each individual tile seems to be some sort of story, a piece of history, forever carved into the stones you trod. The spire itself, this tier, while the other ones have been miles across, that's Terrace, the ground level of Avarice, takes 2 full days to cross from one end to the other on foot. You can see the other side. At this point, you're another 800 feet off of from Mesos. You're high up. Clouds surround the outer edges. Maybe 24 buildings stand here, each surrounded with their own just distinct landscapes. There's one that seems to just be zero-scaped. It's all desert rocks and arid formations. Another with the hedges that are carved into the shapes of animals and creatures, but they all seem to be slowly moving. These are living shrubbery that move around as though they're its own menagerie in one of the palaces off a few hundred feet away. The outstanding building is the central spire. There's a tall 4 or 5 story temple built around it. 2 tremendous figures stand in front of it. Celestials. True celestials. Stand unmoving, as if they were giant statues. But there's an air of life to them. The air around them glows in golden light. The symbol of Krest on a massive banner hanging from the front of this temple. And they stand watch over it. Very few individuals and figures running about. And you're led down the street towards what I'm going to describe as Victorian Gothic style house. The architecture with the large gargoyles from each terrace, dark shuttered windows. Clearly this is the home. of the Sunweavers. The symbol that hangs from the front of the building, similar to the one that I believe, Sai, you now carry. That was given to you, the drawing that Lord Quinnington put together for you. It's a straight line towards this house. Again, do you try to break away, or do you wait until you get to the building?
I think if we're surrounded by a armed escort, it'd be difficult to leave on the road. Maybe best to leave during a transition point.
I think so too.
Okay. You make it up to the front door. The guards kind of stay behind at the clearly denoted boundary. Very close cut grass. There's like a small windmill, and it's strange. There's all these like random curbs and corners and ramps and moving like sculptures. And you see two small black furred heron gun children clearly playing like mini golf. As the sun sets, an older elven woman looks over and goes, "Oh, your father's guests have arrived. Quick, it's time to go to your rooms. Quick, to the west wing." And they, "Oh, but we want to play," and they kind of bat at her legs, and but they're ushered away because the staff here knows what's going on. That was surreal timing on the music.
Yeah.
And you are all ushered. There's a butler who greets you. The master of the house is expecting you. The third
As we're handed
floor. Oh,
As we're handed off, do the armed guards go about their business, or do they hang around at the door?
yeah. No. Once you're handed off to the butler, they turn and begin marching back towards the elevator.
Okay. I will do my normal trick of stopping walking, and the illusion duplicate that I cast myself continues walking with the group.
Okay. You do that. I imagine this is one of the things that was planned in advance, not as a flashback, but you all know that Doman is now invisible behind. He gives you all the signal. To the third floor, you'll find the usual preparations have been made. Each of you will be tipped substantially based on any commendations and compliments passed on by guests of the master. On now. Nods to you.
We follow the group towards the third floor.
Yep. Begin walking up. There's 10 or so individuals that are with you that seem to know the way. Every now and then, if you start like turning the wrong way, you'll get a nudge, be like, "This way." And you make it up to the third floor. I'm gonna just mix up the music because it's pretty sexy, but I also don't know that it's on my approved playlist.
Question.
Yeah.
The third floor, does it look like we are going towards the east wing? I'm taking a guess because the kids went to the west wing.
Yeah, that's a third floor
Third
to the
floor,
eastern
east
side.
wing. Okay.
Again, making your way up. There are two guards kind of at the entryway, like the banisters up to the third floor, the large double doors that open the doors for you, and you enter. Very similarly set up the Imperium, but you walk in, except it's somebody that like saw pictures of the Imperium and like tried their best to recreate it. There's clashing colors and It's not as tastefully done. It's a poor recreation of the atmosphere.
Almost like their
ins-
vision of what it would be.
Yeah, instead of like sourceless music, there's like there's like a quartet, like a string quartet in the corner. They're like beginning to play music, and it's as beautiful as that is. It's this weird. It feels really voyeuristic all of a sudden because there's 4 people that are not participating. They're just there, and about a dozen or so different people. Well, you all have red robes that were provided to you. These are all in black, and they have red masks with silver cracks through them painted, where you all have black masks with gold. And they are standing about and kind of like talking softly to each other, just kind of chatting and catching up. You get glimpses of, the tax hike that was proposed. We need to ensure that that doesn't make it public knowledge. We'll shoot that down before it. And just, odd small talk. It is a very, I'm going to say, disconcerting environment to just be dropped off. There's a very large, rotund minotaur who's just eating cheese and like sitting in a big leather chair in the corner. He's got his mask kind of pulled up to the side. And you enter. The other employees begin to kind of disperse and disseminate. Not approach anyone, but everyone kind of begins circling around the room, waiting to be taken notice of. Actually, it's not just men. There are a number of women. I need perception checks.
Just for clarification, I have been following the group, just invisible.
Okay. Thank you.
11.
Nat 20 for
18.
21.
Okay. Glad you guys are better than me. What is that? 13? No, 12.
Okay.
I got a nat 1.
Anybody that got above 20, you quickly make out who is likely to be Solara Sunweaver. You catch glimpses as people's robes shift. You can kind of catch glimpses underneath. He seems to be the only individual that is fully dressed. He's just kind of wandering. He'll make a passing comment to somebody, but always seems to distance himself pretty carefully. The big thing you notice is there appears to be recording devices. Like whatever, there are scrying eyes hidden in certain points of the room. And you very quickly realize that this event is held for the purpose of procuring blackmail against the powerful. I need to know what you all are doing. Are you beginning to circle the room and work the function? Or are you looking for a chance to get away?
We're talking through this now, or are we going to have talked through this before?
This could be one
We
of
can
our
use
rewinds.
you can use one of your flashbacks to go, this is what we planned for. Go time.
All right, I'll use my flashback.
Okay.
Um,
What did you guys plan for in this moment when you got to the orgy?
I'm taking. Nobody else had an idea, so I'm gonna say we planned on working the event until we could each individually get away. Essentially, I'm assuming there are like side corners or things like that that we might
there's
be able to. Yes, they're
adjacent
scrying, but
adjacent rooms that.
Basically, if 6 of us disappeared at the same time, that would be a little weird.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
So-
Doman is in a position that he can just skedaddle pretty much whenever he wants.
What happens when
Doman
this
will-
person gets noticed?
Just keep circling the room.
Well,
It's like
you're
a person that
okay.
doesn't acknowledge anybody else when they talk to him. He's just slowly walking around the room.
Okay.
But Doman himself will leave the entire estate and say back out to the front courtyard, anticipating that Ange at some point will jump to him.
So
Okay.
we're just supposed to dispatch our connoisseur from this buffet on our own. Just figure
Unless
that
you need
out.
some help.
Yeah. Well, you have planned in advance, so
That right. This
everybody,
is me and my plan.
this is going to be another skill check.
Oh.
You each know to individually break through. We're not going to worry about me role playing. 6 different people hitting on each of you individually.
Oh, please. No.
Um,
Come on, why not?
I mean, I could probably knock out one of them hitting on 2 of you at the same time. But what we're going to do is whatever skill you or spell or anything you think is applicable here, we're going to do another group check. Doman, give me an Arcana check. This is just more how long can you maintain your illusion not being discovered as an illusion. I know the DC here.
Not great. It's apparently a 21.
Okay. And
That's
let's
appropriate.
start. Sai, what was your skill check? How is Sai escaping?
So let me explain what's kind of going through Sky's mind since he's gotten here. He saw 2 black Harengon children. He is a black Harengon. He doesn't know who his parents are. He was left as a child on a doorstep for not having powers. So he's beginning to have the wheel spin, and when Solaris was pointed out, he was going to look and see if he notices any faint blue in his fur
Give me a
or anything.
perception check.
$17.
17. Yeah. He does have faint blue tufts. Very similar to yours. Different markings,
Right.
but the tips of his ears, as you kind of catch a glimpse from under the hooded robe, the tips are blue. The edges of his hands and like the tip of like one of his thumbs has that kind of bluish black tinge.
So then I guess with my roll, it was sloppy, and because he's distracted by that, and he got a natural 1 on a stealth roll for a 14.
Okay, that is a natural 1. You currently 1 success, 2 failures. Who's next? You know what you rolled, why you rolled it, and what you got.
I don't know if it should be stealth or deception. My thought is to, when somebody has notice of me and we make eye contact, to go like this and go behind a corner, like into a secret room, and then poof away to Doman.
Okay.
Top person is just kind of like, where the fuck did she go?
That could be stealth or deception. Probably deception seems more the
Okay,
Vague.
that makes it a 19 then, because I rolled a 15. That's +4 on my deception. So
okay, with a 19. Those of you that are still there, couple things happen. You see Sai beginning to like slide out of a window, and you just watch him freeze, like staring at Solara, who turns and kind of begins to notice. But as Angel walks by, pushes Sai out the window. Doing your because you can slow fall as a monk, you're fine, but I'm looping in this success to balance it out. We've got 2 successes, 2 failures. As you walk by, you catch the eye of one of the other patrons and like gesture, slipping behind one of the curtains into an alcove. Those of you that are still in the room, you see he's brushes himself. The large minotaur like brushes himself off, cheese matted in his fur, and he peeks. Where'd she go? Oh, The hunt is on. Come here. And like starts just rummaging through what is like a shoe closet. Like the hunt is on. 2 and 2. Who's next?
Okay, I can go.
Okay.
All right. I don't know whose eye I catch, but so I try to get them to go. If there's like an alcove or like did you say there's a second story like balcony?
We're on the
or
third.
anything?
Yeah.
You're
third?
on the 3rd floor, so there is like a balcony you can go out onto.
I take them. I like act like I know where I'm going, and I lead them out to the balcony into a quiet space, and then proceed with things and try to get them.
Are you trying to just satisfy a client? Is that what we're going with here?
Kicked out, or is that where you're going?
I'm trying to get them to disrobe and then persuade them I'll
Easy.
be right back. And that's how I just leave them on the balcony.
Okay. You've successfully left somebody on the balcony, but you're now back in the room.
I don't know.
There's
So
a naked
somebody's-
person on the balcony waiting for you to come back.
I'm just not gonna go back. I guess I'll go. I thought that was gonna work, but now I can't fix it. So I'm gonna try to avoid the Minotaur and find somebody else's eyes in the party that I know and be
Okay.
like, "Where-"
Who's left?
She's just full panic.
So far, it's Gil, Quiddington, and Yoshida. Yes, you took somebody on the balcony and then went back into the party. Yoshida's overwhelming need to play a prank at the expense of a mission. Honestly, as you walk out, you
Here's
lock
an
the
egg.
door behind you and the drapes closed.
Yeah.
Like, this dude is stuck on the balcony. I'll give you that. Like,
Okay. Okay. Good.
Doman and Angel, who are outside, and Sai look up to me. She'll be back. Picks his robe back up.
Okay, so I go to use the bathroom. I don't know.
No, you're all right. Give me this is gonna. So you're gonna need 2 checks here because it's gonna be deception to get the guards to go to the bathroom, and stealth to get out of the bathroom to the outside. So you have 2 chances to fail, but if you succeed both, it's only 1 success.
Great. Okay, that's a natural 20, so that's a 34 deception.
Excellent.
Damn.
And then the stealth, I believe, is okay. Shit balls.
Shit balls.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna use my luck.
Okay.
You rolled lower or the same?
Lower.
Okay.
I
So what
do
was
have-
what was the first one?
It was 10 total.
10 total. I'm gonna say because you rolled a natural 20 on the first one.
Oh, you don't have to
That-
give it to me.
I'm gonna because the DC was going to be 15. You got a 34 on the first one, so doubling one score and then losing it by 5 on the next. We're gonna give you the success. So you're at 3 successes, 2 failures, as you talk to the guards a little bit and just it's not only that you lie to them and get them to like, oh, it's okay for me to be out in the mansion. You get them arguing with each other. And so when you go to the bathroom, like on your way out of the bathroom, it's kind of like the toilet paper has stuck to your shoe and you're leaving a line, which is why it's low, but they're stuck arguing with each other. So nobody notices. And you're like in the lobby to the main house trying to get this off of your foot.
They didn't
As
have any
you-
hand dryers, so I'm just like,
Yeah. That's... you make your way out. We've got Gil and Quinnington left. We're at 3 and 2.
good job.
So 3 successes, 2 failures.
one naked guy on the balcony.
And a naked guy on the balcony.
So
3.5 successes. I mean, that's
I plan
naked on
on
their own balconies. That's
waiting until Quinnington's gone.
okay. So Quennington, I didn't know what your
But
plan is to get out.
my plan was to follow Gil. I've been waiting because he has all my shit.
They just
So-
keep making awkward eye
So
contact.
Gil is waiting for Quennington, and Quennington is waiting for Gil. Yeah, you guys are both just like,
I need you to do a stubborn check.
I'm just gonna give him a hug.
A greasy hug.
Oh, I feel your dick. That's your dick. Hey,
I just like whisper in his ear. I'm like, hey, how do I get out of this robe and into my gear, man?
I will
I've
get
got
you
a way
your
you can get out of that robe. Both of you. You
I just
turn.
look over my shoulder and wink, and then I just move back to Gil for a second.
Excuse me. You
Yeah.
feel a tug at your robe, Quennington.
Oh,
Yeah.
what can I do for you, ma'am?
I think you two gentlemen know exactly what you're here for. Yes.
I look back at Gil.
Come,
You
We-
too, huh?
come with me.
Come on, Gil. She wants to. She wants you too.
Oh, you seem to be misunderstanding the
Happy to.
situation. This
Let's go.
is, and she reaches around and grabs Quennington by his dick. This is not a request. The old, wrinkled hand that probably doesn't manage to quite circle around it.
I've got like a death hold on his like right here on him, and I'm just dragging him as I'm getting let off.
God, spit roast.
I'm gonna fade to black really quick, and we're gonna go outside where the rest of the party has successfully made it.
What do they have to check? Stamina?
As I
Fortitude? Sorry.
as I popped out, I was gonna tell Dolman about Sai and say that we had to go find him under the other window.
Mhm.
Okay.
So we go to get him.
You know what would have been, as we go walk to find Sai, you know what would have been really helpful? If Gil could have done that telepathic thing. That would have been.
It
real
would have got
helpful.
dispelled when we went through the elevator.
That would have been very helpful. I wonder why didn't
Gil,
we
you're
do
not
that?
part of this conversation.
If you'd like to use a flashback for once we make it past the Dispel magic field, Gil, you enact the psychic link.
I don't want telepathic link at a sex
Yeah.
party.
You're
You're about to
once.
part of an old woman threesome if you.
No, without
Yeah.
telling Dolman.
We cut to she's led the two of you off into one of the side rooms. I need to know how you're getting out of this, or if you're not getting out of this.
Eiffel Tower! Oh.
Oh my god.
That's the spirit, Sonny.
She is
Oh.
old and feeble. You'd
After
probably.
he announces this loudly, I just try to lightly karate chop the back of her neck so that she just faints.
Oh,
Killing an old
Okay.
woman at a sex
This
party.
is not a matter of whether or not you can hit her, or if you can knock her out.
I am intentionally not trying to just clobber her.
I'm aware. I'm not even gonna make you roll anything. This is what I'm gonna call just a really old check. Natural 20. She's good. She goes down. I don't know when the last time you've karate chopped an ancient woman, Lord Quennington. They don't necessarily take it as well as the younger virile folk.
at least like lay her out so that when she wakes up, she thinks she had a really good time.
So Gil yells, Eiffel Tower! And Quennington just goes, judo chops her. Yeah. Gil, you watch her eyes roll in the back of her head and she just falls face first into the bed.
I catch her as she's falling,
Yeah.
and I'm just gonna put her into a corner, and I'm gonna take a piece of my robe and rip it off and tie her hands, and then put another piece of robe in her mouth.
No. Oh god.
Yeah,
That's
I
all
mean, that's just fine. It's a
She
sex
seemed
party,
freaky.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
She did seem freaky.
There is a window in this room, so you can try to get out. This will be an athletics or acrobatics check for each of you, and this will be the final.
I was gonna just pull out a uniform and try and
You were
go
gonna
out
what?
I was gonna try and get Gil to give me my backpack so I could pull out a uniform and.
Not yet. I can't yet. Everyone has to be around.
It becomes. It's not like a extra-dimensional space that you can reach in and out. He has to summon a full like storage chest, and then to get it out, he has to recast it. So
So window.
Right. So I guess we're having a breeze, and I just open the window and try to sneak out.
okay, give me a stealth check. We'll say your athletics is high enough. You can climb a 3-story building.
15.
15. Okay. And Gil, what are you doing?
Sorry, I'm just reading the rest of the spell really quick. Okay, that's fine. I was making sure I couldn't recast it without using a spell slot, but it's the longer it's in there, the more of a chance it goes away.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So,
You get an eyeful, Doman. Sorry, I saw the perception check roll through.
Ooh.
Let me just double check something. Nope, need a wing with a feather for that. Hold on, because nope, I need another even smaller feather for that. So
If it's a material component, your arcane focus replaces that. So your eye,
that's right, it does.
unless it has a gold cost to it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna open up the window, and I'm like just gonna get on the edge, and then I'm gonna jump.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cast Feather Fall before I hit the ground.
Okay, cool. That was my follow-up question. Give me just a stealth check just for your timing.
Yeah. 15.
Okay.
Gil, you
I mean,
didn't-
15
you
has
didn't-
been just the standing DC for this. You and Gunnington make it down at about the same time, and you're all able to kind of gather back up. Off in the shrubbery, there's like a hedge maze at the back of the mini golf area.
That was humiliating.
Did I make it? I made it.
Yeah, I think all of you have made it out.
Okay. Come here. Do we want our stuff now? I think we want our stuff, right?
I think we want our stuff.
Yes.
We want our
Yes,
If
stuff.
you want to
20
see
kids
my
dick still
chocolate
out.
starfish some more, then we can continue.
No,
but
no, no,
other
no,
than
no.
that,
All right.
Chocolate starfish? That's what you call it?
Maybe dark green because he's an orc. I don't know. Let's not.
half
Okay.
orc.
It's like a matcha
half
dark
orc.
chocolate.
Ah,
God damn it. Can I have my stuff, please?
You should have seen what he did to this like really old lady up there.
I don't want to know.
Help!
And
oh no!
Help!
Shit.
I'm just echoing from the balcony around the other side of the house. Somebody lock
Fine,
the
it's-
door.
That wasn't me,
just
guys.
open this.
I didn't do that.
And a giant, not a giant, but a big chest. Pull it out from the ether and just lands on the ground. Open it up. All right, let's get all our shit.
Okay, I'm Seraphina right now, right? Okay. From Chunk.
Sai will probably be the last one to grab his stuff and probably have to be like, hey, let's go. Because he's still thinking about what he just saw and the possibilities up there. So. But I'll eventually
Yep.
grab it with that. So
Are you sure you need to be Seraphina right now? We still
Nope,
have to
I'm not.
get to
That's
the
all I
church.
asked. Okay, all right. So I take all this stuff back off.
But when we get to
and
the church,
put it in a bag,
great idea.
and then I go back to who? I mean, we can't be ourselves because of our faces, right? Everybody
We'd
knows who
like
we
to
are.
be.
We can fast forward to the next phase, which would
Okay,
be
good.
getting past these angelic guardians. They each stand about 15 feet tall. And this is the point that you did specifically plan for, because there is only one person that regularly goes in and out, and that is Seraphina Whisperwind.
And remind me, the Celestial Guardians are at the front of the church, or are they the front of the manor that we're leaving?
They're the front of the church. So
Okay.
we're just going to fast forward. You guys are capable enough that just working your way across some patios or the courtyards and stuff and down the street. Easy enough for you to do to kind of just stay far enough away from guards to not arouse suspicion. As you approach, if this is the point that Yoshida becomes Whisperwind, I don't need a group check here. I need a single deception check from Yoshida to convince these guardians that she is Seraphina Whisperwind. And I do want to check really quick, because we are at about the 2-hour mark. How long does everyone go tonight?
I can go a little
Good for
longer.
a bit,
Yeah.
but
Okay, let's
Yeah,
go.
why not?
We'll go a little bit longer. I've got a couple things that we can get through, and then we'll lock down for the evening.
I'm debating on using my rewind.
Do it. Do it.
You guys want me to do this?
Do it. I don't know what
you
you're
got an idea that you want to do.
Okay.
Blast
Because we haven't heard her roll, so we don't know what she got, and I haven't seen anything. So
I haven't rolled it yet.
I would like to rewind, and we talked about the way that we need to get all of us in, or at least one of us in, is Seraphine needs to escort one of us as if we were caught.
I like
Okay.
it.
Does it need to be someone who can teleport? Either Angel or Dolan?
Or
Or
Gil.
someone.
Or
Gil?
everybody else is holding this person.
Oh. Oh. That makes more sense.
Like guards.
But we can't disguise as guards. That's the problem.
Mm.
Unless we use another rewind to
And
knock
what
out
I-
some guards.
But here's also one thing that I would worry about is the angelic guards. I'd be worried that they'd be able to see through an illusion, which is fine for Yoshida because it's not an illusion. But if we did invisibility to try to get through, that could be a problem.
Would any of you like to make a religion check?
Fuck it. I
mean, if
somebody
you're
else wanna
offering it to
make
all
one?
of us, I
Yeah,
guess
okay.
I
I would do it.
Anyone is able to, because these are
18.
18.
Nat 20 plus 2.
18.
Okay, we're gonna give this to Angel.
27.
Angel,
27.
you see these, and we'll say as you're getting your gear together, you were able to just fill this in. These are Empyreans. These are old guardians of the heavens that followed Krest to join the humans. These are very dangerous individually. They do have true sight. They are pretty difficult to lie to. These effectively at some point would have been Krest's own bodyguards.
What is true sight?
They can see through illusions. They can see into the ethereal plane. See, a monster with true sight can, out to a specific range, see in normal and magical darkness, see invisible creatures and objects, automatically detect visual illusions and succeed on saving throws against them, perceive the original form of a shape changer or creature that is transformed by magic. Yoshida is specifically not transformed by magic.
Okay.
Well,
Well, we don't know
you see
that,
the
do we?
original form of a shapeshifter. So I'm going to say because of the innate nature of Yoshida, what she is, I'm going to ignore that because I did not realize that with True Sight.
Okay.
And I
That's fine.
all of a sudden being like, yeah, here's my unpassable without combat obstacle. Suckers.
I mean, you can
So,
still do that. You're the DM.
These are older Empyreans. They've been around a while. Their eyesight's not quite what it used to be. We're going to roll it back a little bit, and I'm just going to note this as a lesson to make sure I read all of the rules for a monster, and not just most of the rules, or assume that I know exactly what True Sight is.
I think if everyone else were to act as, or if everyone were to act as, like guards holding this individual, Yoshta, Serafina, pulling them in, and in my mind, it makes the most sense for Angel to be the one because of her background, because she's celestial.
I was also going
And
to
that would
suggest
be-
one of you two, since you guys can bamf to each other.
Okay.
I'm kind of nervous about walking in because my face is on all those billboards.
Yes. And
Yeah,
you're bright red.
that's why I'm like, I don't know how we can be guards because
But these are these celestial creatures specifically looking for us? I don't know.
Everyone
Probably.
else is. I'm gonna not risk it and bamf again as soon as you get Angel in.
I could go.
And Yosh can go because her face is different.
I mean, I could burn a spell slot and put you all in the fucking chest. It's gonna be a tight fit though.
It is also possible that you have more than one prisoner. Multiple of you can go as prisoners.
Oh, but they can see into the astral plane. Never mind.
So
I think Lady Whisperwind? Yeah, Whisperwind.
I was
And-
wrong about that. They cannot see into the ethereal planet. Oh, no, wait. Yes, they can. That's at the end.
Yep.
Sorry.
I think Lady Whisperwind here and Sir Quinnington, who is the most guardish look-alike that we have, take in Ange and Sai, and then I will go in afterwards. And I don't know, Gil, do you feel comfortable being a guard or a prisoner?
I could be a
Or
guard.
neither?
I could be a guard.
Yeah, I'll need. Would make sense for her to have two prisoners. She would have needed. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So Gil with Angel, I with Sai, and then. Wait, we're Lord Quinnington also. Sorry, I'm working.
He's going to be a
this out.
guard.
Okay, sorry. I'm
Gil
on-
and Quinnington
I'm
are
on-
guards. Sai and Angela prisoners. Your Lady
Anything you can-
Whisperwind.
You can pull like a full face helmet that you've seen some of the guards wear. Just put it on.
there we go.
Still just sitting in a robe, half open, but you know.
No, you got
No,
your all
you
your
can.
all our
We
stuff.
changed.
Oh, okay.
We
Yeah,
took
you get all your
But
stuff
you're
back.
dressed.
All right.
Unless you just want to
Can
be
I
in the
have-
robe. If you just want to just
Deck
it's
swinging.
a naked half orc in a cape.
Do I have my rapier, or is that going to be too notable?
No, you've got everything you need. That's you have all your equipment back.
Oh god, I'm nervous, guys. That's Yoshida. And me.
It'll be
Angel's
fine.
gonna slap her.
You got it.
What's that for?
Take that energy, that anger, that fury, and put it into your character. Got it?
Yes.
Atta girl.
Yosta,
Okay.
I give you permission to hit me
Right now?
when we get up there.
Okay.
Just punches you in the mouth.
Okay.
As soon as you finish saying that, just, bah!
I think that would be undistinguished. Isn't she above it all?
Oh,
Any of you that need to.
we can take it.
Okay.
You can just carry him side saddle.
Side, maybe not
Yoshida?
Angel.
I'm going based on all of the preparations taken. You have advantage, and you have an additional +5 to your deception. And I'm going to put on appropriate music because we just switched to slow ride. Thank you.
Got it. Thanks.
This
We
one-
always get that one.
right there.
Yep.
It's the half-hour mark on my playlist, and I'm just going to remove this from my playlist. Remove No, it's a key component of what we do now. I've got to leave it on.
It's fine.
So I already rolled, so I should
How
know
about shuffle?
what I'm gonna say, right? Or do you want me to roll live?
No, it's if you already rolled, what did you get, and are you including the +5?
I
The
am.
additional +5.
You want me to tell you what I got right now?
Yeah, let me know what you got.
I added the +5. I got 31.
31. Okay. And that was with advantage?
Yep.
Okay. Empyreans have a +15 to their
Mhm.
insight.
Good.
Each
Good.
of them get to roll. That is a 30. And that is a 32.
Fuck.
I used my
Good.
reaction. Time rewind slightly.
They have to roll again?
Or do I have to roll again?
Or does everyone have to roll again?
As a reaction, after a creature you see within 30 feet of you makes an attack roll, an ability check, or a saving throw, you can force the creature to re-roll.
So you
Okay.
can pick the creature.
And I can see that after the roll succeeds or fails.
Okay. You see one Empyrean like nods, and the other begins to like turn his head to look at Yoshida. And he's gonna roll again. 33.
Fuck.
One higher.
Okay.
An interesting deception. But please, Dawnbreaker has been waiting. Our mutual friend sends his regards. And he winks at you, puts a massive hand against the door, and pushes it open.
Okay.
Didn't have to do any of that shit.
Oh,
I'll walk in
God.
with the rest of the group and be like, we really should have seen that coming. He told us to come visit him anyway. Just right by.
Or I revert back to my form with my 7-foot tall robe and my crown on my head still.
You just make me think of like you're a child walking out in their parents' clothes, like, okay, well, shit.
As we walk in, I just want to keep my eye out for any trap that I can see potentially.
Okay.
Obviously, I can't feel around or anything, but just visual what I can detect.
Okay. I'm going to just describe this. Go ahead and, David, you can ignore that because I'm going to have more time to make a more detailed thing. So.
Oh,
you
I'm
don't have
just
to get. Okay. I'm
playing.
like, don't worry about measurements and stuff like that. That's it. You begin walking through vaulted marble hallways. Reliefs of Averin are carved on every surface available. Passing through these stone columns, on and on, extending out this giant radius, which is clearly the center sphere, like center of the spire, the circular room. Your footsteps echoing as you walk towards the center, where a figure in white robes underneath red and gold armor, like World of Warcraft style, like pauldrons, taps his fingers on the edge of a marble chair, kind of behind a waist-high white marble altar with these red and gold draperies over it, lit candles, and piles of coins and gems on it, which are clearly like offerings. Next to him, Seraphina Whisperwind, as described to you, stands, arms crossed in front of her. The tall elven man whose drumming his fingers on the arm of his chair. Red and gold hair kind of tumbling down like a lion's mane around his shoulders. He has the long, like, again, World of Warcrafty, like blood elf, like eyebrows that kind of come out a ways and long ears. And he taps. And as he looks at you, you realize that his eyes glow. A deep red and gold light. He's clearly an Azmir. And he taps his fingers. I should have assumed that as soon as the alarm was raised, it was you lot. I'm so pleased that you've chosen to surrender yourself in the face of the power of Krest, our Lord and God. I suppose, as tradition dictates, I allow you your last words.
Or what word? Or last word? Oh, fuck.
Your last words, each of you, please.
Yosh just headstones. Our last word. Oh, fuck.
Seraphine, if you do not speak, silence is an acceptable answer. I prefer not to hear the slippery words tumble from a mouth that is mimicking my own. Drop your guise, mortal.
I thought she already.
I did.
Oh, did you? That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed that part.
I did too.
That would have been a fun, awkward communication.
Take it off. Take it off again.
Well, we'll just stick with silence is an acceptable answer. I don't care to hear the final words of mortals who are heretics. That their thoughts should be ingrained in the fabric of what is to be.
Oi,
Well,
suck my dick.
Which were the
Okay.
last words?
And initiatives.
Now, Valerius holds up his hand. He goes, we owe all mortals at least this much. Chance to explain their piece before they meet their end. Not all go willingly into oblivion. Please, what have you to say? You are welcome to beg forgiveness for your transgressions before you meet judgment.
well.
Why should... Go ahead, Gil.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you got
Okay.
it.
Well, well, I'm not sure we'll be begging for anything. We're here to pick up a few people, take out the trash, and go home.
Pick up a few people. These ones, and he gestures, and all of the stone pillars around go transparent, and they're suspended. You can tell still not dead, but in like stasis. Lear and Mav, Ash, Felix, Balder, Victorine, everyone that was and more. There's,
Lady Featherweight.
yeah,
They're
Lady
on point.
Featherweight is still clutched like to the chest of Lear. We got bouncy again. All right, this is it. I'm gonna go. Here we go. This one. That works. Everyone that was listed, the even the apothecary that ran the shop in front of your hideout. There are a couple others from the Kitrovatiana clan as well.
Even who?
Yeah, the members of the pirate crew, all of them, they're all suspended. There's roughly 24 of these pillars, and it's just people you've passed, anybody that you've had more than just a few moments of conversation with, anybody that's helped you. The church has been watching for a long time, it seems. Are these the individuals you came to rescue?
Oh,
I think you've made an interesting choice putting in all of the people who want you dead in the same room.
Oh, it's more insurance. Because I can do this. And he points at... I'm not going to roll. I'm going to... the apothecary that was running the shop outside of your guys' hideout. He begins to age. Not to the point that he like decays, but you see he puts on easily like 15 years. This is, again, insurance.
Funny that you say heresy and act as if you've walked among gods. When you have little to know about this god.
I'm the voice of Krest, the one true god.
Have you met Krest yet, though? Because we have.
I assure you, he speaks for himself.
Quite eloquently, actually. Even if a little weird.
And if you really want to know what he says, maybe you should ask your celestials outside.
He looks. Serafina, they seem to know more than we assumed. I thought they were just getting close. End them. She goes, of course, Lord. And great black wings sprout from her back, and she lifts in the air. Materializing in her hand as she brings it to the side is a massive scythe.
Counterspell?
It's not a spell.
Oh.
She is just revealing her true form. With pleasure. And we're going to end it there. We'll be kicking off our next session with combat. We're going to be off for a couple weeks. We've got a bunch of people traveling. It's just that time of year. We're going to be doing other stuff. That's depending on how many people we have. Maybe we'll run a one shot. Maybe we'll do something. We will announce whatever our plans are as we solidify them. But I think for now, we'll plan to just see you everyone in a couple weeks. We love you so much. Thank you. What was that?
Wednesday or Thursday. We'll see you then.
Yeah, we'll see you Wednesday or Thursday for sure. I just want to
Or
check.
both.
Or both. We'll see. I just want to thank everybody that followed today, everybody that subscribed. Thank you so much. We know you're there. We appreciate you and spending time with us and hanging out. I know we don't really interact like directly on camera during the stream, just because we try not to interrupt some of those big moments like karate chopping a horny old lady. We just don't want to take away from the seriousness of that stuff. We will see you Wednesday and or Thursday. We love you all. Have a great night.